Almost there.
Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron channel, Massive Iron Live. It is Friday, what is it? Friday, August 26th. Let me get comfy in my comfy chair. I stayed up a little bit too late watching the new movie, Nope, Jordan Peele's new movie. Wasn't a big fan, so I'm a little bit sleepy and a little bit bad. I got sinuses going on, but, we'll be all right, guys. I've been working really hard. I'm going to announce what's going on over here. I've been working really hard this week, and I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about Massive Fitness Equipment, and then we'll get into the festivities. My shirt you can find at superlivingtoday.com. Buy my freaking cookbook. I do have a cookbook. So, welcome to Massive Iron Live, guys. I'm here every Friday at 11 Eastern. I appreciate you joining me. If you're new here, a couple things. Number one, your comments don't always show up. That's not me ignoring you. I don't ban or block comments or filter comments unless they're racist or homophobic or just generally really vile and inappropriate. So if your comments aren't coming through, it's not me. It is Instagram YouTube. So if it's not, your comments aren't coming through, try to run them through again. Maybe change the text or shorten them a little bit. Or if that doesn't work, head over to Instagram. Where is my banner here? Sorry. Head over to Instagram. I've been the barman. Slide in my DM. Post your questions. If I don't get to them on live, I will get to them eventually. So if you're new here, there are no dumb questions, no stupid questions. It's awkward questions. Kind of weird, strange questions, whatever. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me widen my camera here a little bit, but we have a special guest today. Snoops and Bubba. My wife's out preparing, doing something for her shop right now. So Bubba and Snoops are here. Snoopy, you want to be on camera? Bubba, wake up, Snoops. What's going on, boys? All right, so they're hiding over there. So post up your question, guys. Just a reminder, if you post up a question before 11 a.m. Eastern or before live starts, that you have a chance to win a t-shirt. Oh, man, I need a shave. I'm looking like a half can of ass. How you guys doing? Where you guys tuning in from? So let me pull this up a little bit. I'm going to give you guys a quick spiel about what's going on. Some of you guys might have seen this on my social media. And I'm super excited. I've been digging away, for the last 15, 17 years in the fitness industry. And a few years back, I got out of the industry and I went my own way with my own business, my own coaching service, and selling my programs and all that kind of stuff. And that's going really, really well. Well, I have an opportunity now. An opportunity presented itself for me to start a new company, and this is going to be moving very, very quickly. In fact, I've spent a lot of time this week on the phone with the manufacturer. We got the website up, we got social media up, and I'm basically not getting much sleep this week, but we're getting her done. So what is Massive? I'm going to give you guys a quick spiel and then we'll get on. What is Massive Fitness Equipment? Well, it is going to start with racks, bars, and benches. We're going to have basically 4 different types of racks: an adjustable bench, a regular bench, and a power barbell. And this isn't just going to be your same old equipment. We're going to be competing with Rogue and Rep and the really top of the line home gym equipment brands. The exciting thing about my manufacturer is that they do everything on site. They do the powder coating, they do the machining, everything. So they don't have to ship things all over the place. They can do everything in-house. This allows us to keep our costs down a little bit compared to our competitors. And not only that, but these guys are super meticulous about quality. Everything from the plastics to the bolts to the steel, everything. These guys these guys took their time. They know the industry. They're incredibly smart, incredibly wise, and everything in these racks and these benches and these bars are going to be top quality. We're going to have prices that are competitive with Rogue and with Rep and etc. You know, the retailers, fitness retailers in that niche, but that are going to be equal or better quality, equal or better price. Our big rack, for instance, is going to come with a multi-grip pull-up bar, not just a straight pull-up bar, but you're going to have multi-grips at the top of the rack. It's going to come with dip handles. It's going to come with a landmine attachment. And basically, that's it, guys. Just if you can follow Massive Fitness Equipment on Instagram for updates, and I appreciate it. If you have any questions about it, just drop that down below. All right, let's get into the fun. There we go. All right, what are we going on? What do we got? HB, what inspired you to start Massive Fitness? You know, I get I've had a lot of business opportunities come across my doors over the years. You know, a lot of them are a lot of work for little money. Okay. So I've considered wrist wraps and knee sleeves and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, it's a lot of work. If you put out real quality stuff, it's a lot of work for a little return. So you really have to have a lot of volume. And I never thought I would have enough volume in, you know, that type of niche to actually be competitive. But I was actually have a client that is a manufacturer, and you know, we've been working together for a while. And I really didn't pick his brain, but we started talking about things, and I realized how intelligent these guys were, and what a good opportunity this would be. You know, I'm going to be 55 this year, and it's just a great opportunity. I have the space, we have the quality. These guys are willing to work with me and give me the colors I want and the look I want and the features I want and the quality I want. And if I didn't have those things, if I didn't have access to those things, I wouldn't be involved with this at all. Because number one, I'm too old for headaches. I don't want to be selling crap. I want to be selling quality. I want to be selling quality at a good price. And I want to be selling products that, you know, when we can meet face to face, you're like, that was a good product, right? That was a solid product. I'm very happy with that product. So things just kind of fell into place. And I don't move super quickly on many things, you know, but this is just like the perfect storm. These guys are super aggressive. They're moving quickly. We've been on the phone a lot. I'm going to have yesterday I put in the first official order, you know, what I wanted to order. And what we're looking at doing is initially we're going to have 5 of everything, which obviously isn't a lot, but I'm going to try to do a pre-sale. And as the stuff is coming, I'm going to do a pre-sale. I'm going to take that money and roll it back in, and we'll stock 10 units, take that money, roll it back in. And I'm just going to try in the next 6 months to roll it where I have a stock of about 4 to 6 months worth of equipment. So we're never out of stock. So anyway, Christos, loving the idea of Massive Fitness. What's your audience? Audience is going to be home gym. You know, home gym. We're going to have 4 different levels of racks, but they're all going to be quality. You know, we're going to have things that fit different needs, like a half rack, all the way up to, you know, as sturdy and as solid and as big as you can really, you know, as you'd want to go for a home gym. Stein, how's it going, Stein? Welcome to Massive Iron Live. And Aberrant, how can I raise total test levels? How much of an impact can I make on testosterone without a prescription? You can make a big impact. So don't think, you know, the first thing you need to understand is with testosterone levels, you're not going to, you know, even if your testosterone levels are low and you raise them, it's not going to change your muscle, really. Having low testosterone, on the other hand, isn't really going to change your mass. I know plenty of guys that have lower testosterone levels that have plenty of mass. So just know that low test is not going to really be a limiter, and that raising your test isn't going to be a magic boon unless you go to super physiological levels, like someone that's on TRT. So what can you do to raise your test levels? Number one, you can eat better. You can clean up your diet. You can move most of the vast majority of your food choices to plant-based and animal-based food choices. You can really streamline your diet. You can work on sleep hygiene, getting your butt to bed at the same time, giving yourself a chance to get 8 hours of sleep, resting. You can do some form of cardio where your heart rate elevates where you get your heart rate elevated. At least an hour a week is a good start. You can work on stress, just things like that. Get out in the sun. Being in the sun is great. Getting that vitamin D is great for stress and is great for just overall health. So, there's a lot of folks in the industry, in the lifting world that want to improve their test levels and are taking test boosters. But, are they taking sleep seriously? Are they taking nutrition seriously? They might lift, but are they taking some form of general physical activity seriously? There's a lot of bigger guys out there, and I'm not judging. A lot of bigger guys out there that lift that don't have the other things in place. So these sorts of things can make a big impact on your test levels. There is a lifter, Clarence Bass, and you may or may not know him. Very old school. In the 80s, he was in all the muscle mags with Arnold and all these types of guys. Clarence Bass coined the term ripped. Okay. If you go on Amazon and search Clarence Bass and ripped, you're going to find his books. And back in the day, Clarence Bass wasn't a big lifter, but he was a ripped lifter. Like he defined ripped before anyone else. So why am I mentioning Clarence Bass? Well, Clarence Bass is now in his 80s and he's ripped. He's still ripped, like 40 years later. So what does this have to do with testosterone levels? Well, I did an interview with Clarence Bass over on Muscle and Strength many, many years ago. And he mentioned to me, dude eats super, super strict, super tight, and his testosterone levels were normal. He gets them checked frequently. And I believe when I interviewed him, he was in his 70s and his test levels were normal. So this guy takes care of his health, and his test levels are pretty much where a 30-year-old's test levels should be. Josh, bulking. If daily nutrition is met, doesn't matter where the rest of the calories come from. So, Josh, I'm going to unpack this a little bit. If daily nutrition is met, doesn't matter. I'm not sure what you mean, Josh. It's a little bit ambiguous the way you phrased it. I will say this. If you're bulking, you want to maximize your nutrition. It's okay to have a little bit of wiggle room, right? And to live a little. I'm not telling you to become a monk. But you want to make sure you have your protein intake solid just for recovery and repair. And beyond that, you want to get a good solid base of plant-based options. Doesn't really matter. And I use plant-based a lot more rather than veggie, because when you say veggies, people think of broccoli and cauliflower and carrots and, stuff like that. But plant-based is much bigger. I eat onions and peppers and mushrooms, a lot of jalapenos, that's for sure. And for fruits, I eat blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. So I have like 8 plant-based options that I get in nearly every single day. So you want to get in these plant-based options, and you want to get in you want to get in some protein variety. Like I do bison, I do elk, I do venison, I do beef, I do wild boar. These are mostly minces, and they're not as expensive as you would think. I do steelhead trout. I do a lot of eggs. I do Greek yogurt. So you want to have a little bit of variety of protein sources, a little bit of variety of plant-based foods, so we can kind of cover those micronutrient bases, right? And if you got your protein in check, you're eating healthy, 80% of the calories. You're not doing crazy things on the weekend, like doing a lot of binge drinking or whatever, binge eating, then you're in a pretty good place. And it doesn't matter where the last few calories come from. David, on a cut currently, is it better to progressively cut 200 calories out every week or go straight down? Typically, David, it's better to go straight down to a reasonable level and just get on with it, right? We don't want to stretch that cut out anymore. So let's say somebody maintains at 2,700. And I don't know David, I don't know what his maintenance level is, but let's say David's maintenance level is 2,800. Go down to 200, go down to 2,000, go down to 2,100, cut, probably cut at least 500-600 and just get into the grind. Now, if you understand where your maintenance levels are, the best thing to do is grind at something that's, pretty low, 500 or 600 calories below your maintenance level. And this isn't a rule I'm trying to make. And then if you have a rough day or off day, allow yourself to come up to maintenance, for a day or two or three or a week, even if you need to. Just don't. The biggest problem people have on cuts is that they go over their maintenance level far too often, and I see this with people every week. They'll have 3 or 4 good days, and then they'll be 300 calories above maintenance, 3 or 4 good days, 200 calories above maintenance, and they're like, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Well, those days that you're higher, they're going to have more carbs and more sodium and more calories, and it's going to pull in water, and you're just going to kind of ride this roller coaster. And what it does is it brings up your average calorie level for the week, which can become problematic depending on, how things are going. What typically happens during a cut, and I'm just being real here, is let's say you have somebody whose maintenance level is 2,700, just for an example. They'll have a day every 4 days where their calories are a little bit higher, 20, by 200 or 300. So, 75% of the time their calories are looking reasonable, right? But then you'll have 50% of their days where they're just 100 or 150 under their maintenance level, and they're really only having two, maybe 3 days out of 8 where they are below their maintenance level. So you have a lot of days closer to maintenance. You have a couple days above maintenance. So a cut really comes down to a lot of math. You really have to have an understanding of where your weekly average calorie intake is compared to where your maintenance level is. And I would start off aggressive. The fear that you're going to lose muscle mass on a cut is really quite silly. If you're training hard, reasonably hard, like you were prior to the cut, and you're not doing a starvation diet, you'll be absolutely fine. All right. Do I need to do leg curls? When is that motion ever needed? I do leg curls every week. You need to do hamstring work. Do you need to do leg curls? No. You need to do hamstring work? Yes. I like to do something other than an RDL because an RDL can be a very difficult exercise for many to actually feel the hamstrings. That's an exercise I would prefer to coach in person. You really have to work on that and learn to get a good hamstring stretch. Now, you need another hamstring exercise. In the world of hamstring exercises, there aren't many. So you do have leg curls. You can do ghetto glute ham raises. You can do them at home. You can put your feet under a bar, have bands that are attached to the top of your bar. Those are a possibility as well. So you don't have a lot of direct hamstring exercises. So, leg curls are always in the discussion. Matinees, best ways to approach strengthening the lower back after repeated strains. Well, the first thing we would have to do, matinees, is understand what is causing the strain. And generally they are, the same old exercises, right? Squat could be squat related, could be deadlift related, could be RDL related. You could even be beating up your lower back from barbell rows and dumbbell rows. So there can be a lot of cumulative stress on the lower back. Strengthening your lower back might mean the best ways to do it would be to maybe go moderate on your deadlifts and squats till you can make sure your form is good, moderate on volume and moderate on weight. And, beyond that, if you're giving yourself a fighting chance with your lower back, maybe working in some minor lower back work, like some hyperextensions. If you are someone that's repeatedly straining or tearing up your lower back on those big lifts like squats and deadlifts, you should just give them time, right? Don't be in a rush to progressively overload. You have a long time to get stronger, and you can attack all the other lifts, right? You can still build a lot of muscle. Don't fear that if we dial down the progression intensity on squats and deadlifts, that it's going to somehow pull back on your gains 30%. We need to kind of get our form down on those big lifts and then slowly add weight. So it's a hard question to answer because I would need to know a little bit more information and more about your history. So the dogs are over there sleeping. Snoopy. Oh, he's dead to the world. My wife bought me a red today instead of purple. So just real quick, Athlete X put out his best and worst of the fitness industry, I believe. What do you guys think of that? I thought the choices were pretty safe. A lot of them were fairly safe choices. So I'm curious if any of you watched that video and what you thought. What's going on? Thanks for joining in. Appreciate it. Scotty, how's it going, Scotty? How are you, big fella? The program I made for recovering from long-term illness is working like a treat. Good. I'm glad to hear it, man. Just stay healthy, stay sane, stay out of trouble, and just keep taking those steps forward. Tom, are safety squat bars an acceptable? Oh, heck yes. Heck yes. I'll tell you what. In the lifting industry, if you start to say you have trouble, doing a narrow grip squat, 90% of the comments are going to be about mobility. You need to improve your mobility. You need to work on your mobility, right? Which is just a complete, pile of horse crap. It's just ignorance. What as you gain back girth and trap girth and as you gain back size, that little bit of change, your chest measurement's getting bigger, and that includes your back measurement, right? Your back is part of your chest measurement. So when you measure your chest, when you measure your shoulders around, that's also including your back measurements, right? So as you gain size, your chest is growing in size, and with that, your back is growing in size. And when you go to put the bar on your back, you're moving. It's moving back. It's pushing the bar back a little bit, so it can become harder and harder and harder to get under the bar without experiencing shoulder issues. This is something I experienced myself when I was squatting. I spent like a year trying to figure out how to deal with shoulder pain. And it wasn't until I widened my grip and then started using a buffalo bar that things really, really improved. So to answer your question, a safety squat bar, 100%. If I had to go back in time, and they really didn't have safety squat bars in any gym, but if I had to go back in time to my home gym in 2007, or 2006, 2007, when I really started my home gym, I would have got a safety squat bar instead of a buffalo bar. A buffalo bar is great, or a bow bar is great, but I would have got a safety squat bar. So, guys, it looks like my internet connection's pretty crappy on my end. I'm going to try to reboot it real quick. No, maybe I won't. We'll just see. Let me know how the internet's going. Uh, Cincinnati Bell, which I use internet through, they made some changes behind our building, and now the internet tends to just go to crap every now and then. Soy sauce, best meaning successful. Not sure what you mean. Serious question: does anyone work harder than you? uh, there's plenty of anybody that I've seen that has decent gym results works pretty darn hard. I'm definitely not special. You mean in my business and my personal life? I don't know, man. It's like I'll be 55 this year. I don't, when you think about it, this is going to sound grim to you guys, but maybe you guys can respect and understand this. But when I really started with my home gym, it was in 2006, 2007. That's really when I started my career in the industry, 2006, 2007. And that's 15 years ago, right? I'll be 55 this year. Another 15 years, I'll be 70. That's the average age that most men live to, right? So you kind of understand that this amazing 15-year block I just experienced in my life, I might have another one, so I better make it count. I'm going to try to reboot the internet, guys. Hold on a sec. You might have 2 minutes without my ugly face, so I'm not going anywhere. Hang tight. We just want to. All right, let's see if I'm back. Doesn't look like it's any better. Stein, you like watching TV series. What do you like best? We just watched Chapel Wait, and we weren't sure what to think of Chapel Wait. I had no idea. I really didn't know much about the Stephen King book or story from before watching it, but Chapel Wait was pretty good. Let's see. Can you guys see me? Are you guys able to see me? You say the screen is some of the guys are saying the screen is black. So let me know if it's still black or not, or if you're able to see me. Because I just noticed a few comments. I want to make sure you guys are able to see me, and that nothing crazy is going on. If you could quickly comment. All right, so yeah, Chapel Wait, we really liked the first maybe 6 episodes. It got a little flat and a little drawn out. It didn't kind of know where it was going the last 3 episodes, but that's what we've watched. Your camera seems off if you aren't aware. Screen is black, camera's not working. Is it working? No, I don't see you. All right, this is really strange. Hold on a sec, guys. Can't see you, screen. What the heck? Can you guys see the questions at all? Good grief. What is going on? Hold on a second. Let's see. Did that help? Did that help? All right. Let me know if that helped, guys. Let me know if I'm back real quick. And you can see the questions. Can you see me now? I just kind of no. Wonderful. That's wonderful. You guys can't see me, and could see the massive iron thing. That's really strange. Let me. All right. Can you guys see me now? Can you guys see me now? Can you guys see me now? I just rebooted myself, re-added myself. So let me know if you guys can see me. Nope. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Well, this is a black shoe. This is a really strange thing. And how about now? No, it's not the camera lens. take the black tape off the camera. How about now? Can you guys see me? Sorry, this is very, very frustrating. Good grief. I don't know what to do here. Let me stop the camera. All right, so I just stopped the camera. And I'm gonna continue forward with the information. I'm gonna try to bring the camera back. And let me start the camera. And we'll just continue on whether you guys can see me or not. I sincerely apologize. I just did everything I could. Can't see, just the pop-ups. All right, so Vinny P, will there be any rack attachments for those of us that have racks already? Yeah, any of the things that I'm going to be selling, like additional equipment. Initially, what I need to do is simply, establish that I can sell racks, right? And if I can sell the racks, then we're going to start selling additional equipment. This is a question I actually have been discussing with my manufacturer um, this week. And any of the things we sell, like dip attachments, they're anything that might be a cable attachment, landmine attachments, anything will be standard for. We'll work with any rack, so no issues there. All right. Please rate my back and leg day. No deadlifts or squats. Back is chins, pendley rows, V-bar pull down, TRX rows. Not bad. The only thing I think is really missing from there is a dumbbell row or some dumbbell row variation or even a Meadows row. I'd like to see a single arm row in that mix. So I would consider maybe alternating every other workout between a pendley row and a Meadows row or a pendley row and a dumbbell row. And if it sounds like you're at a gym, so the TRX rows, I'd probably like to see you work in a seated cable row or a machine row every other week. So that would probably be a good idea. Legs, leg press, Smith hack squats, leg extensions, leg curls. That looks all right. No real issues with that at all. Hulking dude, how do you best implement progressive overload? Using a small amount of weight per week? No, you don't arbitrarily just try to add weight, every week. That's linear progression, and that will kick you in the gonads quickly. There are a ton of resources on this channel where I talk about progressive overload. Recently, I made a video about my 4 progression approaches, and I would check that out. It's probably within the last month, my last 4 progression approaches. And I would check that out and just pick one that you like, or pick some things that make sense. Check out my book at superlivingtoday.com, Massive Iron. It'll talk a lot about progressive overload. So you don't just want to try to add weight every week. That is just not going to work. That's not a plan that is gonna help you out. So, all right. Whoa! I just tried to change the camera resolution from standard to HD just to see if it would pop my ugly face back. All right, where were we? Carlton Clown, am I checking in from the road? Congrats. Thanks, man. Carlton, if you guys ever see my Instagram and you see me talking about a trucker that just pulls out his equipment and gets after it next to his truck, his rig, this is the man. All right, now you guys can see me. Good. I messed with my camera settings and moved it to standard HD, so glad I'm back. But Carlton is the guy that does it. A complete inspiration. Carlton is extremely consistent, and he gets up, no excuses, keeps his bench and his dumbbells and his stuff in the truck, and just gets after it, no excuses. And if you really want to kick in the balls, then this guy will kick you in the balls because he will take your excuses and he'll just, forget about him. He just gets it done. No excuses. Can you get big just off machines? I don't like, these are questions these are scenarios that I'm not a fan of, like front squats or back squats, pendlay rows or dumbbell rows, both. You want as many options as you can. That's going to be the most efficient way. You don't want to just use machines. That's that honestly, it's a fairy tale question. I'm not making fun of you, Sammy. Okay. But I'm saying we don't want to do minimal types of things. Can I only get big doing this? Can I only get big doing calisthenics? Can I only get big doing dumbbells? Don't be that guy, right? Get big off everything. Barbells, dumbbells, machines, body weight exercises. Isolation exercises that have a good progression window. Can you guys see the dogs now? I'm glad you can see my ugly face. You can tell how tired I am from staying up too late. Snoopy, Bubba looked. Bubba's the one on the further side. Bubba's a chunkier one. Snoop's my dog. Christos, is there any existing fitness equipment design that you would like to create or improve on? Well, there's one I talked about as a possible option for late 2023. Now, for those of you guys that remember me from the old dungeon, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, where I had the Sumo squat half rack. Well, that thing was made by TDS and it held up well, but let's be honest, it was a piece of junk, right? It was a cheap piece of junk made in China, and it's all I could afford at the time. So there are a lot of lifters that don't have a lot of space, right, in their home gyms. So we're going to look at, we've discussed the possibility, one piece of creating a kind of Sumo half rack that'll fit in low ceiling areas. They can also fit in things like dip bars and belt squats and all kinds of things. So that's just one example of some of the things we talked about. Andy Townsend. I usually work 4 to 5 days a week on a body part split when I'm trying to really put on size and use a whole body workout twice a week with mostly compounds when doing a Delius period. I'm not sure if that is autocorrect. So maybe you can kind of deload period. So I think that might mean deload. Just make sure you're doing a little bit of direct work for your your arms a little bit. Don't totally detrain your arm, because arms and hamstrings and that sort of thing do a little bit, because you have connective tissue that can detrain as well. And you don't want to really detrain anything. Just remember, the body is more than muscle. You have connective tissue, tendons, and all that kind of stuff. Thank you, Vinny P. I appreciate it. And I think we're back on. You guys can see my ugly face. We're 40 minutes in, and I should have just played Metallica's Fade to Black and just said I'm out of here, right? It's Friday. So post up your questions, guys. I appreciate it. Keep this thing rolling. This is what I look forward to every week. And it's terrorizing doing YouTube because, like, you do a live and you're like, how many people are going to show up today? For a while, I've been trying to figure out if I should move every other week to a different time, to make it more convenient, like every other week do a more Sunday night or Sunday afternoon. But, with footy season, right, football season and NASCAR season, all that kind of stuff, I'm not sure that would work. Sammy, why are powerlifters small? They're not. I get powerlifting is different. They're not. This is something you're creating in your head based off who you follow. They're not small compared to, if you look at natural bodybuilders and natural powerlifters, they're the same. They're no different at all. So powerlifters are not small compared to the weight they lift. That's just a few freaks that you're watching on Instagram. Clarence Bassman in his 80s. No, unfortunately, he wasn't in his 80s in the 80s. Clarence was in his 40s in the 80s. He's in his 80s now. He's a lawyer, or was a lawyer, in New Mexico. I assume he's retired. I usually work out deloads. Yep, we got that one. Good. Excuse me. Sebastian ran 20 miles this week. Nice work. Trying to reach a weekly 35. Just keep that pace nice and consistent, okay? Don't try to set PRs. Just be nice and consistent conversational pace, and let those miles come to you. Is there a way to train hammies? You could read that backward. Is there a way to train hammies or hane trannies, right? I don't know what that means. That was a little bit scandalous. With the barbell for people who hip anatomy don't allow the back to keep straight. One thing that you can try is the ghetto glute ham raise, where you have to kind of set your barbell up so you can just get your heels under it, and you put a band at the top of your bench and under your chest, and you can do kind of a ghetto glute ham raise. Back, for those of you that have a home gym, you could get a back extension machine, and you can do a glute ham on the back extension. So you come up to where you normally would, and then you come all the way up on your knees, and it's like a leg curl. You can do that as well at home. I have a back extension specifically for that. You can also do a wide stance, heels elevated good morning, where you're only coming down about halfway, and you can get a good hamstring feel with that as well. Big Mike, I think massive iron and fast lift should have been on Jeff's list. There's a lot of guys that should have been on Jeff's list, and Jeff can pick who he wants, right? But I think if we're looking at the best actual fitness channels, and not just the biggest, and the safest, you got to put people like GVS on there, Jeffrey Verity Schofield. You got to put channels like that on there. There's so many good channels like that deserve it. But, it's Jeff's world. He gets to pick who he wants. And, a lot of these choices just aren't safe, or a lot of the solid choices just aren't safe, because the solid choices are not going to tolerate bullshit. Natty Aesthetics. I'm sorry to say, but naturally also building muscle don't need to focus on strength. Yes, you do. You can't just do contractions. Sorry to say, you're wrong. You need to focus on progression. There are no weak and small lifters that are massive. And I have walked this road for a long time. I walked this road for a crazy long time, and everybody that is bigger is a lot stronger than when they started. Strength is not the end goal, but you have to focus on progression, and you are wrong. You're 100% wrong. Richard Murray, hello from Scotland. Have a great weekend. Thanks, Richard. I appreciate you tuning in. Troy S., how in depth? Look, contractions you're looking at one tree in the forest here. You just do a contraction with 25 pounds on a curl and you never get stronger. You're not going to get bigger. Everything resorts back to progressive overload. You can start with a contraction on whatever lift you want, but if you don't get stronger or challenge yourself, your body will adapt to that lift in a month and you're done. How in depth do you want your clients' workout reports to be? I sometimes break everything down. Let's put it this way, Troy. And in the world of coaching, this might sound silly, but 1/3 of my clients every day, I'm just trying to get them to communicate. I'm just trying to get them to send workout reports. When I do a screening call for clients, one of the things I say is, one of the things that separates me as a coach is I check in every day. And I tell my clients, I don't expect you to spend a lot of time on this, right? But what I want you to do is check the app daily. I tell my clients, I want you to check the app daily. That's one part of coaching. I might have a question for you. I want you to send weight twice a week. And I want you to send workout reports before you leave the gym. Now, for 1/3 of clients, that doesn't happen. It just doesn't. And that's not a criticism. I'm working with them. I'll still continue to do what I can. But people are people, right? People are just people. And So as far as workout reports, there has to be a balance, right? I want communication. I want information. I want to know what's going on. I want to know your feelings and thoughts. And if you're passionate about something and you want to express it, I want to know because, like Troy, with you, what you present is good, right? What you present is solid information. So it helps me understand. I read and process it. Like the more information you give me, the more I can understand your journey, your personality, and it also like it it also helps me weed through your psyche. Like I don't, what injuries you're going through, if there are any unfounded excuses, not with you, but look, there are some people that there are some people in life that are like this, okay? Oh, it's been a week. What a week. Oh, what a week. What a stressful week. I can't believe the week. What a week it's been. What a week. What a week. What a week. It's been a week. It's been that kind of a week. I can't believe the week. Like, there are some people like that. And again, I am not being critical, right? I don't know what their week is like. But when somebody has one a week every week and uses an excuse not to do anything, at some point you need to figure things out. Not every week is a disaster week in life, and it is. You got bigger problems than worrying about, lifting. So beyond that sort of stuff, man, I want communication. I want to know how things are going. The only thing I ask is that, like the hard thing for me is when I get a client that has like 1,000 words in one post with no paragraph breaks. Like I'm looking for the questions. The questions are always my first priority because I want to make sure I don't miss any client questions. And like when you get a big block of text, not saying you do that, Troy, but it does happen, where I'll get like a big block of text and I'm like, I wish I could put paragraph breaks in there. So, um, just whatever you want, man, whatever is pertinent. I want to hear what you want to say because trust me, it is far better than, just seeing a workout report with no passion. Because if I don't see any passion, there's not going to be any results. Should you progress? No, I already discussed that. You can't linear progression doesn't work. You can't do that. It's not sustainable. If you start out at 95 pounds on bench and you try to overload every week, you'll last about 4 weeks. That's linear progression. It doesn't work. Amanda didn't see me and I was invisible. We're going through all those. We do see questions. Let me skip past that. Black screen, can't see anything. Your voice is enough. I'm just scrolling past. Take the black tape off your camera. All right. I'm trying to move past. Thanks, Rico. Appreciate it. All right, what do we got here? RDL and stiff leg deadlifts and Pendley rows and barbell bent row is pretty much the same. No. Not really. A stiff leg deadlift, you're pulling the bar off the ground. So you really have to have tight bracing when you pull a stiff leg deadlift. And it's a completely different beast from the RDL. The Pendley row and the bent row, it depends on the individual. The Pendley row allows you to give your lower back a little bit of a break and allows you to generate a little bit more power. Those two are basically two variations of the same lift. I don't really care which one somebody uses, of those two, as long as they're not getting this huge amount of torso sway when they're doing it. What's the best thing you can do to improve your pull-ups? Lat Pulldowns, absolutely not. This shocks a few people when I talk about this, but lat Pulldowns really aren't going to help your pull-ups. They have not helped my pull-ups, and they're probably not going to help your pull-ups because the nature of these machines, you're going to cap out pretty quickly, and it's a very specific type of exercise. Like the The best way to improve your pull-ups, and I have something on my website, superlivingtoday.com. You can search pull-up, but band-assisted pull-ups are going to be better than those machine-assisted hunks of junk in the gym. Those are okay if you can, if just as a back exercise, if you want to feel, your back work and you can get a really good feel on them. But generally, not in every case, I'm not saying for everyone at all times, but generally the best way to improve your pull-ups is to lose weight and to do band-assisted pull-ups. Neil, why do hamstrings take so long to heal compared to any other muscle? Neil, it really depends on the individual. A lot of people deal with ongoing shoulder issues and elbow issues. So the issue with leg injuries is that you're on your feet way too much. Not you specifically, but people in general. So you can start to overcompensate and it can just have them drag a little bit on and on. Neil, how's it going, Neil? Glad you tuned in. Let me get a drink here. Oh, more caffeine. The movie Samaritan comes out tonight. You gonna watch it? Sylvester Stallone. I'm excited. Like, I'm not a huge Stallone fan, right? Not the hugest Stallone fan. But I like superheroes, and this one kind of has a Rocky down and out feel a little bit to me. I'm not saying it's gonna be as good as Rocky, so don't shit your pants, right? But I just from the trailer, it looks pretty promising. So let me know if you guys are gonna watch it. We got to that one. Troy, I will say I'm working with the company on my app to get audio. I prefer to do audio responses because when you type all day long, it gets a little fatiguing. So I can do some video currently, but the video does a screen share, so I have to adjust it so you can't see any other client's information. So I'm going to try to move very soon in the new year to more audio responses. Sammy, thanks for the advice. You're welcome. Do compounds like rows and bench build bigger arms than curls? It's not either or. If you get your compounds to a big and strong place, they're going to be the majority of your arm size. So the isolation exercises are going to be the icing on the cake to a varying degree. 20, 30, 40% doesn't really matter. So you definitely need both. Oh, somebody's having a bad dream over there. Bubba, Snoop, what's wrong with Bubba? Come here, Snoopy. Come here. Snoopy, come here. Come here, Snoopy. So, guys, we're about 53 minutes in. And if you're new here, please don't be shy. Post up a question. I'll be glad to help you. Don't think there's any dumb questions. Just post it on up. If you head over to my website, superlivingtoday.com, you can, if you're interested in coaching, I'm pretty full right now, but you can check that out. And I have a lot of new workouts over at superlivingtoday.com. So if you're looking for workout ideas, I have an app. I have all kinds of goodies over at superlivingtoday.com. So please check that out. Where are we? Philo, I love and bought Massive Iron years ago. Thank you. And it says, is this your... I'm just seeing. Didn't come through. The addition of info keeps me on track for the most part. That's accountable, and I definitely need it with my schedule most times. Yeah, sometimes the more you guys can give me, I mean, you guys don't need to write a book, as clients, but sometimes guys will just kind of go through things and do things, and I don't know if they like them or don't like them. So I like to check in on lifts, and Vinny, you're somebody I wish I could train with. One-on-one, because guys like you that are already the Incredible Hulk, sometimes you need a little more personal loving. Christos, what's the best gauge for effort in a workout? A lot of it's mental. Like our body and our minds tend to want to stay in this kind of state of low stress, homeostasis, where the mind is like, stay home, you know, just relax, eat a little bit more. Like these instincts, are deeply rooted in self-preservation, right? When you're in a place of comfort in life, why leave that place of comfort? Rest, eat, relax, sleep, release the stress, right? These are all good things. But in the modern world, where we have an abundance of them, or we tend to, it can be easier to just want to take the easy route. So for me, it's mental. Like on days I'm super tired and I don't want to work out, I don't want to do it. Maybe I'm not even tired. Maybe I just don't want to work out. Get in the gym and get the first set in. I'm just going to go into the gym and get the first set in. And once you have that first set in, usually the rest of the workout goes smoothly. You're just rocking, right? So in days like that, it's like, did I get in and do it? In general, for me, like you can't go into the gym and expect every exercise to be a home run. You just can't. It's not realistic. It's rarely going to happen. Those are bonus workouts, when you go in and everything is just great. But if you leave your workout and that you put in the effort and maybe you only got a PR, a +1 on this lift, a +1 on that lift, it's not only, right? That's good progress. These little, I almost spit there. These little +1s, they add up. They're not trivial. So over time, over the course of a month, when you look at your workouts and like the strong workout tracker or whatever you're tracking with, if you see the +1s, +2s, +3s, +2s, +1s in your workouts, that's it, man. That is the best gauge for an effort. Not that strength in and of itself is the only indicator or the only thing that drives hypertrophy, but it is the train tracks, and without it, you can't move from point A to point B. So it is a good indicator of effort. There are some individuals that really, really struggle. That I'm just being real here, and this is just life. I hope you guys can appreciate this. There are some people that overestimate their effort, or some people that are hypersensitive to pain or struggle, and everything feels like climbing up a mountain, even the littlest step forward. So if you are somebody that you think you can't, you're worried that you overestimate your effort, the ultimate gauge is just to look at your workouts. How many +1s did I have on bench this month? 1, 2, who cares? That's good progress. Just repeat that for 5 years. It is the guys that, because +1s don't lie, right? They're the ultimate indicator. And again, it's not strength for strength's sake, right? But +1s don't lie. They are one of the few things we can look back at our workout log and say, I can see a +1 here. I can see a +2 there. I can see a +1 here. They do not lie. And if they do not exist, the effort is not there. So +1s are the best gauge. And I don't want anybody to misconstrue that or twist that. We're not just chasing strength, but that's a good indicator of progress. Big Rob, when is it a viable time to use intensity techniques? I tend to avoid using them. You don't have to use them. Let's get that established. So, what are intensity techniques? Rest pause training, drop sets, supersets, block training, run the rack, run the sack, things like that, right? Do you need them? No. Do I, they can work well with finishers. Do you need to put a finisher in every workout? No. I don't program in finishers. I do them when I feel like I want to at the end of a workout. So, once you have built up a good level of, a good year of training where you've established that you're building strength and you're building muscle and you're consistent in the gym and your nutrition's good, then it might be time, to play around with this stuff. So I'm just prepping a screen for a question we got coming up here. So I'd probably wait about a year, once you've established a good degree of progression. Question repeat, I think it was missed. I think the difference in the program has me instantly feeling more muscle fatigue over CNF type of fatigue. Well, that's good because we're working on your work capacity. Going heavy all the time, you can experience CNS fatigue. And I know this is a hot topic, but quite honestly, there's not a lot of guys out there at your level, Vinny, that are lifting heavy, heavy, heavy. And I was one of these guys that was always lifting heavy. And you have to be aware of that. There are some times on the deadlift where I was cruising along doing 630, 640 for a double. And the next week I couldn't pull 600 off the ground. And there are a lot of discussions and debates on the internet as to whether CNS fatigue exists. But man, I've experienced it myself. Whether it's CNS fatigue or lat fatigue or whatever fatigue, that's just talk fatigue. It can exist. It can happen. So, building up a little bit more work capacity is a good thing. Rico, have you been working on getting your strength back in the gym? Yes. It's been a tough week for me training wise, getting my massive fitness in order. And I haven't all hit every workout this week, but I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there. I want to get to the point where I'm like, honestly, most times when I'm in the gym, it's like my detox time. Things are a lot different now than they were 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I'd video everything and I'd photograph everything. And let's be honest, man. I mean, back in those days, like I took so many selfies, sometimes it makes me sick. Sounds silly, right? But, I'm kind of over taking selfies and photos of myself. Just kind of over it a little bit, And I need to get back to videos. We're looking at doing some training videos in the new year. But if I do videos, I want them to be content, not just look at me, doing a lift, if that makes sense. Larry, is going to failure on every last set of a workout effective? Yeah, very effective. But don't go to failure, Larry. Don't think of it as failure. You want to do max safe quality reps. Stop a set when you feel like you're going to fail on the next rep or when form starts to break down. Okay? We don't want grinders. We just want quality. So don't go to failure. Go to what I just said. Hey, big, hairy, ugly dude. I've been feeling burned out from power building. So this week I did a deload and I feel much better. That's good. This is why I don't structure and plan deloads generally. Because I like to save them for periods where I'm burned out or tired or need a mental break, because it happens. If you push hard for long enough, sometimes you need a break. Now, Troy asked, do you have any new t-shirt designs? Let me see if I can bring this up without causing me to go to black. All right. Can you guys see me? Can you guys see me? All right. Okay, so let me get Troy's questions off here. If you go to my website and you go to store and apparel, right? Whoops. You can see we got the Crom shirt. Okay, which I wear. I like this is a design I made. Got the classic muscle and brawn. This one, the massive VIP shirt's one of my favorites. I think it's pretty sweet. The Massive Iron with that little skull logo in there. And guys, I do this for fun. I'm not trying to be an apparel company. I make like $3-4 off a shirt. It's just something I do for fun when I need to create a brick. We got the Massive 316. Here we have the Arm and Hammer ripoff, the Massive Iron. That was kind of fun making that one. The Run DMC ripoff, right? The Prawn Hub ripoff. The ACDC ripoff, right? I have this one of my favorites. I do stupid stuff like this, which I'll probably delete. Testosterone, right? Just stupid crap. This is one I made, regressive underload, regress load, get it? Regressive underload instead of progressive overload. Let's see, I'll bore you guys to death, but I'll show you a few more. Buy my friggin' cookbook. That's what I got on right now. Buy my freaking cookbook. And we got some different colors and stuff. Just all good fun. And the Breaking Bad one, I wear this one a lot, the Massive Iron Breaking Bad type of shirt. We got our flags. We got kind of the Massive Iron MTV type of shirt. And the Budweiser ripoff, right? Massive Iron, the Budweiser ripoff. The Hulk Hogan ripoff. I do a lot of this stuff. Somebody, this is kind of an ego thing. Look at that dork wad right there. I didn't like, hey, I want to make a shirt like this. Someone made the design, so I put it up. No one's ever bought it. No one person has. Then you got Don't Be a Pussy. You got Massive Iron, Stay Sexy People. Some different Massive Iron variations that don't really sell much. Shut Up and Squat, Death Lifts, Massive Iron, Strength, Respect, Strength. And I'll bore you guys to death, but I'll show you a few more because we could use a brace or use a break and brace to suck. You got your mugs, that kind of stuff. Hoodies. And what else we got? Hold on. We got a couple more in here that might be of interest. Big Juicy Massive. Massive Iron Gym. Train Weak, Look Weak. And the I Am Machine, based on the greatest, ha ha ha, you are all fat, lazy steroid users, based on the greatest troll comment of all time. This is one I made. Guys at Team Massive had the idea, Peace, Love, and Diabetes. I think I've sold none. Some of this stuff I'm just going to dump off the site. We have phone cases. And this is a funny one. This is one I made recently. It says, don't touch the bar, and it's upside down, right? But when somebody's spotting you, they can see it, and it says, don't touch the bar, and it has a picture of you benching. So just kind of funny. This one I made recently. I don't know. What do you guys think? The Incredible Bulk. Sometimes I'm just screwing around for fun. I took the Hulk font, and I made the Incredible Bulk. And let's see, this one just for fun. My pronouns are Massive / Iron, ha ha ha, right? Sometimes I play around with designs. I saw Jeffrey Verity Schofield mention Sarm's Goblin, so I made that shirt. This is one. This is one that I really like. The Megaroids. If you look at the letters I highlighted, they say ED for erectile dysfunction. But yeah, I made this for Josh. Wear, but it's kind of a funny shirt. I kind of like it. And what else crap do I have? I have some for my wife that we're going to be selling at the Arnold that I don't talk about, like just peachy, silly. This one I made for myself for when I run so I can drink beer. That one turned out kind of sharp. And this one, what is this? We're almost done, so hang tough, guys. This is a fitness influencers making up stupid exercises since 2010. No one has ever bought that one. That's just crap I do for my free time. This one I kind of like. Extra exercise. How about extra fries? And I'm going to be making up a new system called Demon Training based on Trevor Smith's program. So I was messing around with that one the other day. And this is a new shirt for Massive Fitness Equipment. So I just put this one up yesterday, actually. And let's see, what do we got here? We got a few different colors, massive fitness equipment. And yesterday I posted a Falk about a fat bulk. Falk, a fat bulk, when a lifter gets a green light, da da da. Just a definition shirt. So yeah, I got all kinds of crazy crap on there. Again, if you guys want to check out the t-shirts, they're over at superlivingtoday.com. And I only make a couple bucks, man. I probably make like 30-40 bucks a month off them. It's just something I do for fun. I'm not trying to be an infinite alge intensity. Does getting stronger guarantee you're eating enough? No, it does not. You can be going through neuromuscular adaptation, or, if you're generally weak, you can just kind of sometimes build strength despite your diet. I'm seeing improvements in numbers on compounds starting out. The best thing I can say is, if you're really serious about this, just track your calories. Make sure your calories are in check, so you have kind of a baseline. And so you're eating enough. Watch the scale, because the scale is the ultimate judge. What I advocate, and you can head over to my website, superlivingtoday.com, and search bulk. And I have a really good bulking book, but basically, or PDF, excuse me. I like to have clients focus on a 10-pound window. So we're going to try to gain 10 pounds, whether it's in 3 months, 4 months, or 5 months. I don't care. Rapid, slow, whatever. But once we hit the 10 pounds, we're going to do a reassessment. Do you want to continue in bulk for 5 pounds, or do you want to do a cut? So we keep a very tight 10-pound gain window. You hit that, then we kind of analyze. And you can do bulks and cuts, 10-pound bulks, 10-pound cuts, till your eyes fall off. And it can kind of keep you around the same weight and slowly improve body composition over time. Would a period of powerlifting be needed to gain a lot of mass? Strength building and muscle building are the same process. Powerlifters, you don't need low rep work. You need progressive overload and plus ones. Lawrence, how do you break through plateaus? I've been stuck on roughly the same weight for chest press and lat pulldowns. Well, lat pulldowns, I'm not surprised, because those tend to cap out. If that's a chest press machine, it could just be the leverages of the machine, so I'd have to know a little bit more. Big Mike, on those days that you're doing deads or squats and your head is not in the game, should you continue? Well, one thing I learned, Mike, when I was doing really, really crazy squats multiple times a week, like with 600 pounds on my back multiple times a week, is you need to have your head in the game. You need to be able to focus on form, because something goes wrong and you're going to get hurt. So if you can focus on form solidly, you're good. If you can't, you need to just kind of deload or go slightly lower for that day. How to increase protein intake without getting hemorrhoids? I don't know. I've never heard of it. I'm not saying this doesn't exist. It's just out of my lane. I've never heard of hemorrhoids being driven by protein intake. And I'm not saying they're not. I just don't know. If somebody is generally tends to get hemorrhoids, like frequently. I've had them once or twice in my life, but nothing aggravates them for me. Nothing seems to trigger them. So that's way outside of my lane, man. I don't like to comment on stuff I know nothing about. You reckon that food is getting less nutritious? Absolutely. Even the fruits and veggies, the way they're farmed, and the way these factory farms are, and the way they're just the crazy things they're doing with animals and the crazy things they're feeding them. I mean, let's be real here. I didn't take this as seriously 5 years ago as I do now, but I'm trying to cut out as much as I can so I can maximize the quality of my food. Because what more is there in life than the fuel we put in our body? Do you need to go organic? Do you need to not go not organic? I don't know. but you need to focus on really improving your nutrient quality. Hulking dude, I personally don't buy the whole don't train the same muscle group 2 days in a row bit. I do stiff leg deadlifts one day and do lying hams, curl, and I'm just fine. That's fine, but you need to know that things can change. So don't dig yourself a grave and then jump in it. You can. I have a program called the Drunk Russian where you train the same muscle group 5 days in a row. A lot of this comes down to management of volume and intensity. So yeah, you can train the same muscle group every day. Does that mean it's inherently going to give you more value? No. If you like to train that way, great, but it's not going to give you any more value than anything else over the course of 5 years. What's the proper gym etiquette for approaching someone hijacking the squat rack during busy hours? Me, I tend to be more direct in life. I do. Like where I'm sitting, you guys can't tell, but right there, I'm on the second story. Below is my wife's business and my gym. And there's a big bay window right there. So I'm sitting here and I hear boom, 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 like somebody just fucking blasting their music in the downtown area. You know, and I got an accountant next door. I got my wife trying to do wedding dresses down below. You know, it's a business area. Like, could you just chill on the base, dude? So I gave it 10 minutes until my blood, started to boil a little bit. And I went down to his window. I went downstairs and I said, "You can turn that down, please." It's a 20-year-old kid that weighed like 143. He's like, "No." I'm like, shit, man. I had to like walk away because, that just kind of turned up the intensity. But at the gym, I usually tell somebody, "Hey, man, how much longer are you going to be?" Kind of as a hint to let's speed it up here, buddy. And then, I'll give them like 10 minutes. And after that, like, man, I got to work in. We got to get going. And after that, you just got to kind of decide whether it's worth approaching the gym staff or whether you just want to suck it up for the day. Matthew, will the Meadows row work the back? Yeah, absolutely. The Meadows row is a really good option. The only issue is you have a wider handle at the end, but you got to you're going to have to use Versa grips to kind of strap it in, but you do it right. Fine. Come here, Snoopy. Come here. Come here, Snoop. Maybe Snoop's going to come over for a visit. Bubba won't move because Bubba's lazy. Come here, Snoopy. Come here, friend. Come on. He likes to crawl over on the table. Oh, no. Come here. Come here. You want to come say hi? Want to come say hi to all my friends? This is my doggy, Snoops. This is Mr. P. Snizzle. This is my dog. If you can't tell. I love you too, Snoopy. All right, where were we? Who won the giveaway? Oh, yeah, I forgot with all the Black Hut stuff. I forgot who won the giveaway, so let me backtrack and see what was the best question before noon. Aberrant, I'm going to give it to you. Okay, I'm going to give it to you, Aberrant. DM me on Instagram at BenTheBarman, or email me, benthebarman@gmail.com. Snoopy, you want to tell him a story? Tell him I'm the best dog dad in the world. Snoop loves the lickles. He's a very strong boy. He's a fast runner. He's a good dog. All right, buddy. There you go. All right, sorry. JP, Monday strength squat plus 2 to 3 accessories. Tuesday bench. Wednesday deads. Thursday OHP. Friday squat bench dead hypertrophy. The only issue with that is, doing a press on Thursday and then another press on Friday. I would probably kind of switch that around a little bit. I would do benching. I'll probably do bench and overhead press on Thursday, right? So I do OHP and then accessory benching, and then whatever you want to do. Views on jam presses for elbow health. I don't know about elbow health. They're a good exercise. No one's ever asked me about elbow health. in JMs before, so it's a very good question. But I don't know. The only thing I can say is when it comes to any tricep exercise, give it a try and see, does it aggravate your elbows or feel good for your elbows? Just stop by to say my respects. Thank you. I appreciate that. A single valuable piece of knowledge for every question we ask is appreciated. I sincerely appreciate that, and it's an honor to help. Rico. So I've been running a frequency body part split for 4 or 5 days a week, and my bench, deadlift, squat, OHP have increased a lot. Good. I'm doing the same as I was with upper lower, but seeing better gains. Hey, hard to say, man. I mean, that's why we try different things. That's why I put out a lot of different types of programs. Some programs just are more motivating. Some programs, based on what energy we have, or focus or drive in life, or how we're recovering. You just never know, man. You just never know. So just get after it. Vinny P, man, I don't know that I've said this enough, but I definitely appreciate that you keep it real and don't speak on things you don't feel are in your wheelhouse. Thank you. That means a lot, and I appreciate that, because it's something I take seriously, and I'm not trying to bullshit you guys. Like, there's too many guys out there that they'll get asked a question about something they don't know about. Like, I don't know shit about mobility. It's not that mobility can't be valuable. I just don't know shit about it. I'm just a meathead lifter, right? And things like, does a JM press good for elbow health? I'm just trying to give you guys the real information so you guys can smooth out the bumps in your journey. What's your view on a 5x5? I will tell you my view on a 5x5 right now. So hold on. Don't go anywhere, folks. Don't go anywhere. Okay. We're going to try to get this up. So screen share. Okay, let's see if we can blow up something again, right? Later. Okay, let's go into the search on my website, Super Living Today, and go 5x5. Let's see what comes up. So I have my 5x5 training template. This is an Excel spreadsheet. And I have the Massive Iron 5x5. This is my 5x5. So if you want my take on a 5x5, here you go. This is a fun program. I've had some clients run it for a long period of time, and this is how I like running a 5x5. So there are many different ways to run a 5x5. That's mine. Check it out. I feel less than average most days, so that pep is appreciated now and again. Big ups, man, for real. Same. Respect your way. Nothing but respect. Righteous. How to structure a body part or bro split for beginners attacking progression. I don't think I did this, did I? I mean, I've been doing videos where I do a live, how to build this, that, and the other thing live. But man, sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget. Maybe I'll put that on my to-do. I got to check to see if I did that. Because sometimes when you're old, you think you did something and you did something, right? All right, last question. Man, keep them coming. We got about 5 questions left, so last call, but you guys just keep them rolling. If these fitness influencers always talk about this many sets per week for your muscles to grow, then why do body part splits get such a bad rap? It's just a lot of body part splits used to be the way, and then you had a lot of people switch over to obsession with muscle protein synthesis. And, a lot of people don't want to be wrong, so they just hopped on that bandwagon. They're riding it to doomsday. But the reality is it doesn't matter. Why do body part splits get a bad rap if it's the same amount? It's the same amount of work. And one of the common things you hear is like, during a body part, and I won't do the bad accent, right? During a body part split, you get more fatigue, so you get less out of the exercises. Yeah, no kidding. During a full body workout, you get more fatigued as you're working. So it's just a lot of silly arguments. It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you train. I've done nothing but a body part split my whole life. I've taken breaks for a little bit, but it does not matter. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't. This is way overthinking. You got to look at the body of work, right? We have tons and tons of guys that have built muscle on body part splits. And they're not just steroid users, man. I spent tons of time in the industry doing body part transformations and working with natural bodybuilders. I've worked with so many natural bodybuilders over the years in the 90s and 2000s that used body part splits. And these guys were championes. They were champions, right? So it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Anybody that's elevating one above the other because of one training variable really doesn't understand the long-term process. Man, if you get in the gym and you just kill it over 5 years, it doesn't matter how you train. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't, because you're going to wake up, you're going to have been consistent with your workouts, consistent with your nutrition. You're a hell of a lot stronger than you were. You're crushing those big exercises. You're going to be big and you're going to be strong. And it doesn't matter how you train. Don't get caught up. Don't get trapped in the swamp of some other guy. You know, no matter how scientific they seem, because it does not matter. All right. Happy International Dog Day, Bubba and Snoops. Thanks. What's your recommended pace for RDLs? You on an RDL, to lower the weight, you want to lower the weight along your legs, not riding them right against it so you create friction, but you want to push your butt back to lower that weight. So my elbow's kind of the butt here, right? And then you want to control it down. You don't want to go and then up. You want to control it down and kind of feel those hamstrings a little bit as you're moving that butt back. And then from there, you drive up and drive the hips forward. RDLs are taxing, especially after squats. Amen to that. These days, I don't do more than 2 sets of RDLs. Never. If I'm going to do more hamstring work, it's going to be something else, because they are super fatiguing, especially when you get strong at them. A hulking dude, do you think bodybuilding magazines are dead? That's a good question. You know, sometimes this is kind of a simple pleasure for me. Well, first off, I collect old magazines, like from the 60s and 70s and 80s, because I like to see how they trained back then, just for ideas, like some of the stuff that's to see what we've forgotten, you know, right? It's pretty cool to look back at the 50s and 60s and 70s and see how they trained. But sometimes I like to buy Men's Fitness or a bodybuilding magazine off the shelf just to see what's going on in the industry. See if there's a new training idea. Like, you know, all the other stuff, I don't pay any attention to, all the bullshit supplements and, you know, all the articles on diets and eat peas. You know, if you want to, you know, the article of the month, eat peas and prevent cancer, whatever horse shit they're shoveling out, right? But sometimes I just like to look at them and see, is there something different about training that these guys are doing that I didn't think of? You know, that's exciting for me. Do you suggest creatine for over 60 lifter? Heck yes. Creatine is good, not just for, look, it might only give you that 1%, but it's proven, it's scientifically proven, it's cheap, it's good for the brain, it's good for performance, and there are very few supplements you can get 1% out of. But for the price, it's probably one of the only supplements that's worth it. All right, guys, last question, last call. I'm going to hop off after this. Did you ever play football? I tried out for football in 7th grade, and I didn't really, I don't know what was happening, 7th or 8th grade. I didn't really jive with. I liked playing football, but I was more of a baseball guy and a basketball guy. In high school, I did cross country. I think I lettered in cross country. I did wrestling. I tried out for the baseball team. I played intramural baseball. I was on a lot of don't laugh, but I was in a lot of academic groups, academic decathlon, Spanish club, things like that. So is what it is. Has classic physique eclipsed regular at the Olympia? I don't know, man. A lot of people still seem to like, you know, the big beefy bodybuilders. So I wouldn't say so. Invisible, thanks for tuning in. All right, guys, that is it. That is it. Before you go, hey, don't hop off yet. Don't hop off yet. I'm going to give you guys a bonus opportunity to win some free stuff, okay? So hang tough. I'm going to show you guys something. All right? I'm going to give away a lot of stuff here. I'm going to give away a lot of stuff. So hang tough. Don't go anywhere. Give me 1 second to get this up. I'm going to give away a lot of stuff right now. If you go over to Instagram to Massive Fitness Equipment, which is my new fitness company, and you go to the latest post, which is me just showing my logo right here, okay? You go to this post. If you comment anything, I don't care, just don't be crude. If you comment and I get at least 20 comments, and you have to like the page, come on. But if I get at least 20 comments on this post, I will give away a t-shirt. One person is going to win a t-shirt, a hoodie, the Massive Iron book, the real book, the Muscle and Brawn Archives book, the real book, a Massive Iron flag, a Massive Iron sticker, a Massive Iron coffee mug, and a Massive Iron workout logbook. I'm going to give away like $200 worth of stuff. So you have a chance to win. I'm just going to do this for live people that stuck around to the end. You go over to Massive Fitness Equipment, go to this post, my recent one, leave any comment, anything, and like the page. And I'm going to, one person this weekend, I'm going to give away like $200 worth of stuff shipped anywhere in the world. All right, guys, that's it. I appreciate you joining. Tune in next week, Friday at 11 Eastern. And hey, until then, have a good weekend. Enjoy the last weekend in August. And we are out of here.
It's not almost over. It's not almost over. You're not almost there. You're not almost there. You're not almost there.